What's up, guys? Dane Davis here. Shout out to Boogie Bentley Dauber and the Indie Kid over at Talkin VAWLS Network on YouTube. VAWLS fans, head over to their YouTube channel, Talkin VAWLS Network. Smash that like button and subscribe, baby. Go Big Orange.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley, and it has been a crazy few days for college football. Coaching changes, the transfer portal. Seems like the second that last regular season game ends, the gates are open. It seems like free agency is running wild in college football. We're going to take a look today at exactly what is the next step for Josh Heupel. What does he need to do next to get Tennessee to the next level? And I think the first thing is making sure that Josh Heupel is coming back to Tennessee, because again, rumors galore talking about Josh Heupel to Oklahoma. Well, I love this yesterday. We'll take a look. We'll get it pulled up here. Yesterday on 99.1, the sports animal, Eric Ainge, former Volunteer quarterback, went ahead and put Josh Heupel on blast. He asked him directly, Coach, what's up with this Oklahoma stuff? Let's take a listen to Coach Josh Heupel's response. Again, this was on 99.1, the sports animal.
What's up with the Oklahoma deal, Coach?
Yeah. As you build a successful program with your staff and players, certainly, your name has an opportunity to come up for different openings. For myself and my family, we absolutely love Knoxville, and we came to Tennessee because of the power of the T, believed in the power of the fan base, and the opportunity to build something extremely special. It's a program that's top 10 in the history of college football, wins, first-round draft picks, and had been through, some uncertainty in recent times, but we love being in Knoxville. That's home for us. I love being in the building with our staff and our players. And I feel stronger today than I did 10 months ago when I first took the job about what we're going to be able to do and how quickly we're going to be able to get there. I know we're building a championship caliber football team and program, and excited to continue on that venture with our current players and staff.
That certainly sounds to me like a head coach that is committed to the power T. A lot to unpack there. I like some of the things he says. One of my favorite things about Josh Heupel, he never misses an opportunity to recruit, even on a radio show. You don't think he is pointing out top 10 in wins and top 10 in NFL draft picks and all the little things that he says. Always a salesman, always a recruiting pitch. But again, that sounds like a guy that's coming back to Tennessee. Now, if you want to play devil's advocate, we can do that. We can look at Brian Kelly and what he said at Notre Dame. I mean, it was within a week. He was standing up at the podium and said, I am not leaving Notre Dame. And then what does he do? Hits the road heading to LSU to be the head coach there. So, you can take it for what it's worth, but Josh Heupel just doesn't seem to me like a guy that is on the way out the door. He seems like a guy that is committed to Tennessee and rebuilding this program. Now, what's the next step? What does he have to do? I agree with what Coach Heupel said there. I agree that this thing's going a lot faster than most of us realize. A lot of it is the transfer portal. It's something I put a lot of videos out. I know some of you like them, some of you don't. I try to pick and choose who I'm going to cover there when I make a transfer portal video. I try to pick and choose guys that, I think Tennessee either could use or has interest in. But there's the next step. What is the next step? It starts right here. Starts with Hendon Hooker. This is an article from 24/7 Sports written by Patrick Brown. Just wait. Hendon Hooker previews decision on the future with the VAWLS. Let's take a look at this article. It says the pitches to Hendon Hooker about running it back with Tennessee next season already have started, and they will probably continue over the coming days or however long it takes the quarterback to make a decision about his future. The Virginia Tech transfer's impressive season, which remains on track to see him post the highest single-season passer rating in program history. Guys, program history. After Saturday's routine 45-21 win against Vanderbilt has vaulted him into a position where the NFL draft is a possibility for him. Hooker passed on going through senior day before the regular season finale and was stoic when asked after the win about his future. Lot to unpack there in one paragraph. Has an opportunity to set the highest single season passer rating in Tennessee football history. There are some pretty good quarterbacks that have come through Knoxville. Why not run it back? Heisman campaign, Heisman Trophy campaign. Elevate your draft status. Why not run it back? Goes on to say here, the way Hooker is wired, he genuinely probably hasn't given much thought about his decision. Instead, focusing on finishing the season the right way, he also wasn't tipping his hand on what he might do when asked multiple times about it on Saturday. His advice, just wait. Defensive back Theo Jackson concurred with a laugh. That's a better decision to do right there. Goes on to say, in the meantime, Hooker will have at least some of his teammates pinning for him to come back in 2022, and some, like running back Jabari Small, apparently have been doing so. This is the quote from Jabari Small. It says, yes, did this the first year. Imagine what he could do in the second year. There was a lot of new things, a lot of adversity we had to overcome. For him to perform how he did and just stay so poised and be a leader, he could just grow on it, and the sky's the limit for him. I think if Hendon Hooker entered the NFL draft this season, I think he would get drafted. I think he would have an opportunity. But the sky is the limit. I agree, Jabari Small. Next year, the sky is the limit. Just look at what Hendon Hooker would be able to do with a full offseason, knowing you're the guy, diving deeper into that playbook. Hendon Hooker has a huge opportunity to return next year. And this is where Josh Heupel has to start. This is the next step for Josh Heupel. Not only Hendon Hooker, also Cedric Tillman. The two most important recruits are currently on your team. That is your quarterback and your wide receiver. Goes on to say here, Hooker completed the regular season by completing 10 of 18 passes, 156 yards, and 2 touchdowns, both to Cedric Tillman, and rushing for 75 yards as Tennessee took control of this rivalry game in the second and third quarters with 4 touchdowns and a field goal on 5 possessions to overcome an unusually slow start. From an NFL perspective, he shot up on the pecking order in his quarterback class, with ESPN's Mel Kiper ranking him 7th in his latest position rankings. He's been on the radar for the Senior Bowl too. Went into the fourth to get to the game 4th in FBS passer rating and remained on pace to surpass Darrell Dickey for best single season passing efficiency in Tennessee history. The quote here says, the accolades come with it. When you put the work in and just try to do your job, Hooker said. I know they talked about it earlier, not putting too much into it. It says Hooker was one of a handful of seniors who passed on going through senior day before Saturday's Neyland Stadium finale, but he suggested not to read too much into it regarding his future. He says here, just kind of been focused on Vanderbilt this week and the game plan that we had in preparing for their defense. They came in very energized from their impressive performance last week, so just getting prepared for them. I disagree. No disrespect, but I disagree. Hendon Hooker's been thinking about whether or not he's going to enter the NFL draft. He's a human. That's what he's going to be thinking about it. He may not be talking about it. He may not be making it public, but there is a reason that Hendon Hooker did not participate in senior day. And that reason is he is still thinking about coming back. Let's run it back. Cedric Tillman, Hendon Hooker. Let's do it again. This is the most important step for Josh Heupel going into next year. As far as Cedric Tillman goes, man, just what an absolutely amazing story. 8 catches in his career through his first 3 seasons. 8 catches. This year, 57, 931 yards, 9 touchdowns. I would love to see him finish with at least 60 catches, and let's go ahead and get to 1,010 touchdowns. What a great season that would be for Cedric Tillman. He has a decision to make too. You know, the Indy kid brought it up, pointed it out. What more do you have to prove? When you do it against the number one defense in the country, Georgia, he had more catches in the Georgia game than he had the first 3 years of his career. What more do you have to prove, Cedric Tillman? I would love to be a fly on the wall and see Hendon Hooker sit down with Cedric Tillman and have a conversation, and the two of those guys agree, let's run it back, let's do it together, let's put Tennessee football back on the map. These two guys would go talk about legacy. You know, we talk about it every time there's a coaching change. Guys come in and it's like, this could be the class. This could be the class that changes things. It gets Tennessee going back in the right direction. But picture it now, Hendon Hooker, Cedric Tillman returning for one more year with Josh Heupel at the helm. Talk about guys that will go down in history as part of the class that brought this football team back. That's going to wrap it up for this one. If you haven't done so yet, please smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Also, if you're new, you're not subscribed, go ahead and get subscribed. Also, click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live, when we drop new content. We will be live tonight, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Join us for Talkin' Vols Live. A lot to unpack, a lot to talk about. Myself, the Indie Kid Dar, will be hanging out. Hope you'll join us for that. But that's going to wrap it up for this one. This is the Talkin' Vols Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
Songs how like me, poets and an arcade, soaking